Hello again. This is mostly a video for me, which is a weird kind of thing to say, but it is just kind of my way of processing online with you the eclipse that I went to go see totality of just yesterday, which happened to be my birthday. So if you're in here, I've got the chat open, and if you wanted to make a comment, hopefully I'll be able to see it and interact with you. But the title of this, was it worth it? Was going to see the eclipse in totality worth it? Worth the 10-hour drive? We went 5 hours up north and then 5 hours down. And it was difficult. So we had to kind of prepare the day before Saturday, and then Sunday I had to preach, and then after church do all the after church things, and then try and get all the kids into the car and head up. And my wife mostly did the work. I just kind of did the grunt work of moving things. So we got the kids up. We went an hour north to my parents, dropped the baby off. We were very thankful that my parents were willing to watch the baby during this. And then we drove took about 2.5 hours to go a little further north into the Adirondacks. We stayed at, what is it, Six Flags Great Escapes Resort, because I tried to sell this to the kids before. I said, hey, we're going to see the eclipse in totality. Meh. And we're going to stay at a resort that has a water slide, an indoor water park. Wow. Yeah, they were so excited. So we went in, and really the kids enjoyed it. And by means of personal disclosure, I had a very traumatic event when I was a kid at a water park. And in retrospect, it probably wasn't that traumatic, but a 4 or 5 year old brain makes it more than it was. And so water parks just trigger me. There was times I was going down the water slide and I was like, oh no, my poor children, right? And they were fine. They're like, I'm having the time of my life. So there was that. Then we had Sunday night into Monday. The kids had one of the kids had a hard time sleeping in the hotel room, so we didn't get great sleep. And then it was my birthday yesterday, Monday, April 8th, and we were excited. They said they had breakfast available, but it was kind of like grab a granola bar and go. So we did that. We let the kids go back to the water park because Nathan hasn't been traumatized enough, and then we got gas, and then there was a Dunkin' Donuts there, and that was our lunch. That was what we had. And we drove up, and it took us another I'd say hour and a half to get up to Crown Point. Now the nice thing with Crown Point is that one of our friends, our lifelong friends, Tom Hughes, Hawkman Hughes, has was the former director over there, and I'll throw the slideshow up now so you can see it. And so there was us at the lodge. Kristen bought us all shirts, and mine even says it's my birthday on the bottom. And then on the way up, we did see snow. I didn't take a picture of snow covering the ground, but we were high up in the Adirondacks. And then we got to Crown Point, and all the parking was filled up. But Tom, God bless him, he knows people. And so, he used to be the director of Crown Point, which is an old British base right across the Lake Champlain from Vermont. And so there's absolutely no parking around it. We drove across the bridge to Vermont and had to park in some marina and called Tom. Tom came and picked us up and brought us back in, which, the parking was already closed, but he got us back in and brought us to the site, and was able to, while there was like 50 people in line for the porta potties, he brought us to the good bathrooms. No lines, no waiting. It's all about who you know, guys, right? So then, before we were able to go out, Tom had got me an Eclipse 2024 birthday cake, which turned all of our teeth and lips black, except for Kristen's. She anticipated that and ate around the black frosting because she's smart. That was fun. So, anyways, this is Crown Point. We gathered there. There were several hundred people. These pictures don't quite grasp everything, but the neat thing with Crown Point, the old British fort, is that hold on, is that there are earthen, um, there are earthen walls that they made. And so Tom had us stand on top of the wall. So, we're as close to the sun as possible. So then it started, and we put our glasses on. And that is a picture from my phone, I believe, or well, I can't remember that looks like the SLR. So that's probably the best I could get as the eclipse was happening. And this is what most people saw, and it's pretty cool. You look through the glasses and you see this thing, and it's like, oh, okay, this is neat. And we're yelling at the kids, guys, keep the glasses on, keep the glasses on, put the glasses on. And this is the point. The whole point of this is, was the eclipse worth the 10-hour drive? And then after the sliver went away, we could take off the glasses and we could see totality. Where, well, that's not totality, that's Tom. As soon as totality happened, the crowd cheered. The temperature went down. The wind picked up. The animals stopped making noise. Birds stopped flying. Crickets came out. And I have seen some incredibly beautiful natural places in the world. I have seen Sleeping Bear Dunes, the contrast between the pure blue waters of Lake Michigan and the sandy dunes, just absolutely incredible. I've seen the Grand Canyon before. I've seen the Grand Tetons. I have been to Yellowstone and seen everywhere there. There have been beautiful gardens in Vietnam with flowers I didn't know could possibly exist. And absolutely nothing I have seen compares to this total eclipse, to be in totality, where the moon covers the sun and the corona shimmers around it. I mean, the still pictures and the videos you've seen, they don't do it justice. The corona, it dances like water around the moon. And what we saw to the bottom left of the sun in its corona, there was um, like a blue luminescence, and in the above right hand corner there was this red luminescence, and it was just beautiful. I was giddy. The kids were giddy. Everyone around us was like in absolute awe and wonder and splendor. And the verse that came to my mind is from Psalm 19 that says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the expanse proclaims the work of his hands. Day after day they pour out speech. Night after night they communicate knowledge. There is no speech. There are no words. Their voice is not heard. Their message has gone out to the whole earth, and their words to the ends of the world." I mean, looking at that, just it's 4 minutes. It was a 4-minute thing. We drove 10 hours round trip to see 4 minutes of absolute splendor and glory. And I know some of you are watching, not all my friends are believers, and that's okay. I love you. And just to be able to sit back and watch that for 4 minutes, I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think I will ever see anything like it again. I mean, 20 years, maybe, we have a chance to go see it again. But it was absolute beautiful. It was transcendent. It was transcendent. It was splendor. It was glorious. It was absolutely moving. And and you think about it, my non-believer friends or my believer friends who are kind of, like, I don't know, it's just this is just a phenomenological thing. But Somebody call me out if I'm wrong. As far as we know, as far as science knows, this is the only planet in the universe that we've found that actually experiences solar eclipses like this. And if our moon was just a little bit larger or a little bit closer to Earth, we would not see the corona of the sun. It would just blot out the entire sun. If it was a little further away, if the moon was a little further away from the Earth or a little smaller, we would not be able to see totality because everywhere else, if you were around and you saw the eclipse and you had the glasses, but you didn't get totality, you can never take the glasses off. It's still too bright. But in that moment that we could take the glasses off and just experience this beauty of God's creation, it was unlike anything else. And like I said, if the sun or if the moon was just a little bit smaller or a little bit further away, you could not experience totality. You would never see it. You couldn't look at. You couldn't take the glasses off and experience the darkness and the beauty of the crown of the sun around the moon. I mean, it was unlike anything else I've ever experienced. And my goodness, I don't even know why I'm sharing this with all of you right now. Is just that uh, I am just so appreciative of my family that was willing to take a crazy trip for 4 minutes. I am thrilled that my wife and my children are all. None of them have said, "Yeah, that was not worth it." They all knew it was worth it, and I was telling my kids, "You will never see this again in your life." Maybe they will, maybe in 20 years, but twice in a lifetime. I mean, it's just unreal. God's beauty is transcendent. It is amazing. And it's amazing how David wrote in Psalm 19, the heavens declare the glory of God. And he says, there is no speech, there are no words, their voice is not heard, they say nothing, and yet God's beauty is made. I think it was Augustine, um, I might be wrong on that, but I think it was Augustine who said that that nature is God's cathedral. My goodness, we were in God's cathedral, and it was amazing because while we were there with the people around us, and I'm sure a good mixture of believers, non-believers, there was a sense of awe, of worship of the one true God, of His handiwork. It was just amazing to see this, and pictures just don't do the moment justice. We could see stars out at night. Ah, it's just incredible. Afterwards, Matt, he was going hiking around, and we went around some of the old barracks, and Chris and I took a good picture. But I God has done, and hopefully you got to experience some of that. There was nothing else like it. So if you didn't get to experience it, 20 years from now, if you're young, put it on your calendar to try and go make a trip. It is worth it. I would drive twice as long to experience that 4 minutes of transcendent beauty. All right. I'm a big idea preacher. I don't really have a big idea here. It's just that I experienced God's transcendent beauty in His creation, and I am praising God. That's my big idea. God bless you guys. And oh, and thank you for all the birthday wishes yesterday. If I didn't get back to you because we were driving most of the day yesterday, uh, thank you. And huge thank you to Tom Hawkman Hughes. It was wonderful reconnecting with him, and it was wonderful experiencing this once in a lifetime experience with him. Uh, God bless you guys. Take care.